Hello and welcome to the third round coverage of the 2015 Green Mountain Championship presented by Discraft. Today we've got hole-by-hole coverage featuring our exciting lead card of Nate Doss at 13 under par, first-timer Paul Ulibarri at 18 under par, sitting in second place for this event. Also returning for his second year, we've got Simon Lizotte sitting at 15 under par, looking for his first Green Mountain Championship, and they're all chasing this guy, Ricky Wysocki, who's got a healthy lead, looking for his third straight Green Mountain Championship. Kick back and relax as we are bringing you shot-by-shot coverage right now. Hello Disc Golf fans, welcome to the first tee of Brewster Ridge Disc Golf Course. We've got this exciting lead card action. Ricky's got a 6-stroke lead coming into round 3 of the 4-round Green Mountain Championship. We do not have a final 9 this year, just 4 solid rounds of golf. We've got 3 hungry competitors trying to chase Rick down throughout this round, and anything can happen, as we experienced on day 2 when Ricky shot an 1100 rated 49 on our new Fox Run Meadows 18-hole course, and we see him get off to a great start there as he puts it inside the circle off the tee. Followed quickly by Paul Ulibarri. Let's see if we see this fall. Yes, and he's about 45 feet away. Here's Simon Lizotte coming all the way from Germany, representing Disc Mania. Let's see if he can put it close to get a good start to his round. A little early there, and it gets knocked down. He'll have about 60 feet or more for his birdie attempt. Here's Nate Doss. Nate helped us out this year by doing a collaborative brewing project with Fiddlehead Brewery. That beer was released. It's called Understable Session IPA. Let's see if Nate can hit the money on this shot as he did with the beer. Came up a little short and just chips up. He'll have a short putt for par. Simon's birdie attempt blows by the hole. He'll have a little bit of a comebacker as we watch Paul Ulibarri from 50. Oh, it stays in off the front rim into the chains, and it sticks. All right, here's Nate Doss. This is his par putt. No problem there. Center of the chains. And our leader gets off to a great start with a pretty easy tap-in birdie. So after a hole, Paul and Rick both birdie, where we see Simon drop one shot. He did not make his comebacker as we go to hole 2. Par 4. This is 500 feet uphill. It's actually been extended slightly for this layout. It's playing more around 540. This is a tight lane with a choke point about 325 feet. Ricky goes with a mid-range off the tee. And it settles a little bit further right than he would have liked. He won't have a great look at an approach. Ulibarri. Oh, and with that little skip, he should be in position A and looking to attack the basket for birdie on his next upshot. Here's Nate Doss throwing the Predator off the tee. He gets a nice kick, a little right, a little left. He should be okay from there to get a par. And Simon struggles off the tee. He hits early. This is where he's settled, and this is his second shot. He did stay in bounds. Very close to the out-of-bounds line there on the rock wall. Ooh, and he's flirting again. It looks like it skipped out and maybe settled in. We'll have to check on that. Ricky's second looks like it gets up there for about a 40-footer for 3. Again, this is a long, dangerous uphill par 4. Simon's third flirts with the rock wall again. That's 3 straight, but he's stayed in bounds every time. And Nate... And here's the replay on Nate's shot. He's challenging the right side of that lane and just gets knocked down. It kicks out of bounds after 2 for Nate. As we watch Paul Ulibarri try to follow the same line, a little better result. He looks like he's about 25 feet away for his birdie 3. Here's Nate's drop. He shot 1, 2 out of bounds. He's back in for 3 and throwing his 4th. Basket's at the end of the lane he's looking at. He's going right at it. Oh, it's right side off the basket, and it looks like he's right next to it for a drop-in bogey. Here's Ricky for birdie. "40 feet uphill." Oh, just short. It looked like it was in the heart and just dropped at the end. Now Paul from 25, 4-3. And that looks like it was a good putt, left side, and spit out. Simon taps in for his bogey. And we look at the scores after hole 2. Sometimes it's a separator. This time we've got 2 pars from Rick and from Uli. As we move to hole 3, this is really a must-get birdie for these pros. The basket's slightly elevated. It is a blind shot. You can see a flag off the tee. You're really aiming for the big spruce right at the end of the lane. Ricky's going a little left and a little short. That will leave him a testy putt. And Paul Ulibarri, you watch the disc. It looks like a little better line. Should be a little closer than Ricky's. Probably about the circle. Let's see if we can get a second camera angle on this one as Nate Doss throws it up. That looks like a great line. It skips in right in front of the basket. He'll be only about 15 feet away as Simon throws. And he's right up against it. Looks like a tap in for Simon. Rick from 35, no problem. Ricky has turned his putting on here. It's allowed him to get the buffer that he does have over these other competitors. Simon's looks like it kicked away a little. Here's his birdie putt. No problem for him. These pros are taking care of this and trying to show just how easy it can be if you're throwing well off the tee. Even though it's 325 uphill, they made this one look pretty easy. As we move on to hole 4, after 3, Rick has still remained 6 up on Paul. Paul's hanging in there, and Simon and Nate are sitting back in 3rd and 4th with a good battle. Let's see if they can get back into the mix here as we go to another challenging par 4. This is uphill, 525. We'd like to thank Innova Champion Disc and Prodigy Disc for their support of the Green Mountain Championship. All right, here we are on the tee of hole 4. Rick still holds honors, and he throws a forehand. Looks like it's moving a little too far right. Oh, he's challenged the tree line. He might not have a clean upshot. We want to be just a little left of that to hit the landing zone on this hole. You can either split the pines about 250 feet in front of the tee, or you can take the right lane. Let's see which Paul Ulibarri chooses. He splits the trees. He's got a nice turn on the disc, and it looks like he finishes in position A. Let's get a replay of that. Beautiful flex on the disc. It's turning and really targeting this landing zone. Sneaks by the pine further up the fairway and lands right in our landing zone. He should have a great approach up to the green for a potential birdie. Nate Doss looking for the same type of shot. Looks like he's throwing a buzz off the tee. Scoots it up into that landing zone as well. Beautiful shot shape from Nate. And Simon with a roller. We saw Nico LaCastra try this in the past. Looks like it did not work for Simon. He's around where Ricky's disc finished and in a tough spot. Let's see how creative he can be. Another roller. Cut rolls directly back into the woods and doesn't look good for Simon on this hole currently. Rick, on the other hand, plays out. He's challenged the left side. And he does get knocked down short of the green, but he should have a chance to get up and down for par as we see Nate look to approach for birdie. Oh, and it just leaks left on him, kicks over to the right side. He'll have to get up and down for par. Simon's 3rd does not go well. And here's Uli in the best position of everyone. We don't see that finish, but he is up near the green. As we see Simon try to chop out. And here's Rick's approach. Oh, right on the edge of the wall. That'll leave him about 25 to 30 feet. Nate's chip up is in there. He should have a tap in par. And here's where Paul finished. He's sizing up his birdie putt for 3 on one of the most challenging holes on Brewster Ridge. And he gets it. Nice birdie from Uli on hole 4. He's happy with that, and he's cut Ricky's lead down. Oh, but Ricky gets his par putt to go, so he's only cut it by 1 to 5. as we see Simon miss his bogey putt. And he'll have to settle for a double bogey on this challenging par 4, as Nate does tap in for par and Simon does tap in for double bogey. So a lot of shifting there. 5 strokes for Ricky after 4, and Nate has taken 3rd place alone at this time. As we move on to 285-foot hole 5, it's moving left to right. It does play well into the forehand player's shot shape. That one looks really nice. Oh, he hits the birch tree on the left, and it actually does end up staying inbounds, so he'll have a long birdie putt as Ricky plays it a little safer. Finishes to the right. Nate's up the middle. Oh, and it's just a beautiful finish to that shot. Never fading, just turning to the right as Simon elects with the forehand. A little bit more aggressive on the finish. Let's see where that ended up skipping to. Looked like it was online. And yes, it skipped right next to the basket. He should have about 30 feet back up the hill. This is a scoring challenge for pros, but 2s are always in the mix, as are bogeys with the OB wall on the left. Here's Paul Ulibarri for birdie. Oh, right in the heart. A beautiful Anheuser putt, a signature putt from Ulibarri as he's mastered it over the last few years. And Rick continues his hot putting streak with another putt just outside the circle. Let's see if Simon can get on track here with a birdie after the double. No problem for Simon. And Nate's beautiful shot put him about 20 feet. And he cashes in for birdie. So that's a star frame, all 2s. The lead stays the same, and 3rd and 4th don't flip as we move on to hole 6. This is an island green, but it's a generous island. Throwing from only 225 feet, players really need a 2 on this to not lose any strokes on the field. Uli maintains the lead. Let's see if he can get it done. Beautiful flick. He's about 20 feet away. Ricky approaches with a forehand as well. Oh, wow. A lot of movement on that one. It looks like it stopped inbounds, just short of the out of bounds back line, delineated by tall grass. Nate with a little stumble on the tee, but he still ends up about 20 feet as well. And Simon with the best of the bunch, about 10 feet short, right on line. Here's Uli. Oh, and he just misses his 2. Let's see if Rick can capitalize. He can't, and the lead stays at 5. Rick's not happy with that. He had a chance to regain his 6-stroke lead, just short. Nate now wants to pull a little closer, which he does. And, of course, Simon, with just a tap in, gets a birdie. So our 3rd and 4th place competitors gain a stroke. They're going to need to do that a lot more throughout this round to get back into the mix of the tournament. Brewster Ridge Disc Golf would like to thank Discraft for supporting the Green Mountain Championships as our presenting sponsor. Discraft, 35 years of quality, consistency. Discraft. So with hole 7, we've made a few changes here at Brewster Ridge. We've lengthened the gold tee. We put in a few new tees based on some pavers to get a little better grip and durability for our top level players. We did have a nice crowd following the group at this point, being round 3. Here's Nate from the new tee, about 375 feet. Looks like he's hit the lane very nicely. It is moving right to left. Lizotte is a little too tight. He gets knocked down early. Let's see if Uli can get back onto the birdie train. Hangs it out to the right. Oh, and it gets knocked down. You can't be too far right. You really got to hit the center. Looks like Rick is hugging the left side. Let's see it come in with a big skip. Oh, and it looks like it settles within the circle. Great shot from Rick as we see Simon pitch out. That's a good one. He will have about 20 feet back up from that rock wall. Oh, and Paul gives it a run, but can't convert from long distance for birdie. Simon cleans up for his par. And here's Nate for 2. No problem for Nate. And Nate takes another step away from Simon. and a little step closer to Paul Ulibarri, who just tapped in for 3. And Rick with a drop-in birdie. So Dawson Wysocki birdie, and that's how Rick has kept his lead back to 6 strokes. All right, we're moving on to hole 8. It is uphill. It is dogleg left, and it's a par 4. This is a challenging hole with many different routes to get to the basket. We are playing the B position. We see some folks getting out in front of this lead card and checking the chase card, featuring Avery Jenkins and a few other of our players here at the Green Mountain Championship. Now that the hole is clear, Nate's got the tee after 2 straight birdies, and he's going down the middle and finishing to the left, and that is position A. He should have a short upshot to try to knock it in for his birdie. Here's a replay as you really want to make that corner right there, and he skipped up and finished in a great spot. Here's Rick trying to duplicate that. He's going right down the right side, challenging, and gets kicked to the right. Not a great place to be. Let's see if he'll be able to save his par. Simon choosing the left lane. Tough to get into with a flick, but if you hit it, you get way up there. He got knocked down, and we move on to Paul Ulibarri. Looks like he challenged the right side too and got knocked down. He'll be in a glade. He'll have a couple routes, but they'll be tight up to the pin. As we see Simon, you see what he's working with. Not much. Not in a good spot, and gets deflected really far to the right. Here's Rick. His drive did not leave him much to work with either. And we see it flash down to the right. He should be able to get up and down from there. All right, and Paul Ulibarri looking right up the lane. Fortunately enough, tried to sneak by a tree and got deflected to this position. And that was a good overhand shot that's going to get him close to the pin. Here's Simon, and he was able to chip it up. And now finally we're at Nate's drive. And he looks to have put it right up next to the basket. Trying to get a turkey here, 3 birdies in a row. Rick pitches up and looks like he's done it. He should have a drop in par. And Uli taps in there. He was able to salvage his par. And Simon as well. He's salvaged his par. All right, so the hot player right now is Nate Doss. He's made 3 birdies in a row. And we're moving to hole 9, where Rick's going to maintain his 6-stroke lead, and Nate has moved up to 16 under. He's 6 strokes behind Uli, so we've got even spacing as we round out our front 9 with a short tunnel shot uphill. It's moving left to right slightly. Usually we see backhand turnovers that try to level out right at the finish. Let's see what Nate can do. Looks very good. And he lands it right on the green. He should be within the circle for 4 birdies in a row. Here's Rick trying to do the same thing. Oh, he gets real sneaky and challenges that left side, but he gets up there. Simon. Oh, he follows the same route. Let's see the second camera angle. Can't quite see it finish, but he should be in position for a birdie as well. And here's Uli. He gets the last tree on the left. Let's see where he finishes. Ooh, he just got jailed out, and you see him stretching here. He'll have a chance to cash this. I mean, his signature putt is that Annie. Let's see if he does it. He gives it a run, but leaves it out left. Simon for birdie. Great putt. Way to get back on track for Simon Lizotte. Ricky taps in for birdie, and Nate is right there as well for birdie. So 3 of our competitors on this short par 3 uphill cash in for 2 as we watch Uli get his par, and we're moving on to the back 9. It's been an exciting front 9. Haven't had too much action other than a swap from Lizotte and Doss, where Doss has now moved to 17 under on the strength of 4 straight birdies, and and Ricky has now moved his lead to 7 at 29 under par. He's just been playing great golf. He's almost averaging 10 down through 2.5 rounds. Before we get to the back 9 footage, please enjoy the musical stylings of Mal Maiz, our Saturday night opener at the musical FallFest that we were holding here at Smugglers Notch Resort in between the rounds of the tournament.
Thank you guys. We're Mal Maiz, and this is what we do.